بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. Respected brothers and elders and sisters, alhamdulillah, we're sitting together again to discuss the fiqh, the masail, the rulings that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent on His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And mashallah, we're here to discuss these masail. You have to understand that this is the inheritance of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Every wealthy businessman, he leaves behind this huge, massive inheritance. Imagine what is the inheritance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who Allah Ta'ala sent, Rabbul Alameen, He sent him, alayhi salatu wasalam. It is when Abu Hurairah then went to the marketplace and he told everyone, the businessmen, he said, you guys are sitting here while the inheritance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is being distributed in the masjid. They all immediately closed shop and they went to the masjid, and then they went in there. What did they see? Someone was teaching that wudu has 4 fard. And if you do istinja, make sure you do it with your left hand, etc., etc. And so the businessmen, they're going back a little angry. Abu Hurairah was waiting in the same spot in the marketplace because he knew they'll be back. So they said, Abu Hurairah, what did you told us that Rasulullah's inheritance was being distributed. We didn't say any money or gold or silver. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, what did you see? He said, we saw people teaching deen. He said, that is inheritance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah allow us to understand this. We'd be so happy to become a billionaire's recipient of his inheritance, but not the inheritance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, subhanAllah. And there's a little bit of time, inshallah. In other words, everyone for the sitting, inshallah. And so we talked about some sunnah method of istinja. We covered about a couple of points before. That number one, first and foremost, go to a place which is secluded from the eyes of people. Number two is that don't relieve yourself in a place where it'll cause inconvenience to others. Again, when you're like hiking or in these types of areas. Third one is that if you have to go to an open field, then look at a place again which is soft and the urine does not splash onto you. We talked about many hadiths on that topic, right? And thereafter we talked about number four, which is covering our head. And I wanted to just slightly to speak about this a little bit more. We briefly covered it at the end. But just the idea of covering our head and feet before entering the toilet. We talked about hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم دخل الخلاء لبس حذاءه وغطى رأسه. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would enter the bathroom, he would wear his sandals, his slippers, and he would cover his head. It's a very important sunnah that we can revive in our own families. You should have some slippers that you have at home, inshallah, in the bathroom area. The hadith is in Bayhaqi, right? And this, mashallah, he brings an important narration in the footnotes. He says, where Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, أن أبا بكر رضي الله عنه قال وهو يخطب الناس. This is in the Musannaf Ibn Abi Shayba. It mentions Abu Bakr was giving khutbah for the people, and he's saying, يا معشر المسلمين, all Muslims, استحيوا من الله تعالى. Have some shame before Allah. فوالذي نفسي بيدي إني لأظل حين أذهب إلى الخلاء في الفضاء مغطيا رأسي استحيانا من ربي. He says that, Wallahi, the one who has my life in his hand, Allah, I swear by Allah, whenever I go to the bathroom in any open area, I always make sure my head is covered. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu is saying this. This is the amal of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. Another hadith in Bukhari is very explicit, where one Sahabi says that when I went to go finish my hajah, I made sure to cover my head. And everyone knew that when he covered his head, he was going to go use the bathroom. Because this was the adat they had. Nowadays, subhanAllah, our adat is that when we use the topi outside, and we don't use it inside. SubhanAllah. And they don't even mention people have like some allergy to the topi. No problem. Use like whatever, rumal, whatever. Rumal is what we use. Some of you just use our shirt. Imam Nawawi rahimahullah said you should just use your sleeve if you don't have anything else. It literally says to put his kum there. I was crazy. It's like unbelievable. They consider it to be mustahab. So people should inshallah make amal on this. Again, it's not a wajib matter, but the reason why we're emphasizing is because people have forgotten this. And if you revive this amal, inshallah, you revive a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is something we can do for all of ourselves, inshallah. Rasulullah said, "Man tamassaka bi sunnati inda fasadi ummati falahu ajru shaheed." Whoever holds on to sunnah at the time where people are not practicing it and the ummah is being corrupted, you'll get the reward of a martyr, inshallah. Amazing, just for doing something small like this. Could you imagine? So may Allah give us that, inshallah, make it easy. Covering head and covering feet before entering the toilet. I mentioned this because like 2 of our kids in the madrasa, both Bengalis, by the way, right? Both of them take off their topi before they enter the bathroom. I said, who taught you this, yaar? Ajib. We never learned to wear topi at all. We learned it later on, right? But they learned to take it off before going. I said, who's teaching them this? Allah Ta'ala make it easy for all of us. The dua before entering the toilet, point number 5. The dua before entering the toilet is, you can recite Bismillah, Allahumma inni a'udhu min al-khubsi wal khaba'ith. One narration mentions, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubsi wal khaba'ith. Another one says you say Bismillah and then you say Allahumma inni a'udhu min al-khubsi wal khaba'ith. So we can make amal on that, inshallah. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the male and female jinn, the shayateen in this area. Alright? Because this is a place where it's filthy. Shayateen are there. A lot of our waswasa, OCD, all these different things happen because we forget the du'as. that Rasulullah ﷺ taught us, right? Many people have an issue with wudu. When they go make wudu, they make wudu like 15 times. Because why? Because they're afflicted by waswasa. So this is how you stop yourself from having this waswasa, this whispers of shaitan, inshallah. Recite this dua. And there are many du'as. I tell everyone, mashallah, that when you, we grow up learning one dua, but there's so many du'as for every single thing Rasulullah ﷺ taught us, right? So for example here, Rasulullah ﷺ said, "Satru ma bayna a'yun jinni wa a'rati bani Adam yadakhala ahadum al-khala yaqula bismillah." Rasulullah ﷺ said that the hijab and the barrier between the eyes of the jinn and the awrah that we have exposed, when you enter the bathroom, you say Bismillah. Then Rasulullah ﷺ made a dua. He said, "Allahumma inni a'udhu min al-rijsi al-najisi al-khabith al-mukhbiti shaitani rajim." Rasulullah made such a ajib. He said, "Oh Allah, I seek refuge from you from the filthy, disgusting, khabith, mukhbith shaitan." Ajib dua. This is such a good dua. We hate shaitan so much. You teach this, mashallah. The regular one we learned is, Allahumma inni a'udhu min al-khubthi wal-khaba'ith. The other one is, Allahumma inni a'udhu min al-rijsi al-najisi al-khabith al-mukhbith shaitani rajim. Ajib. Such la'nat Rasulullah gave on shaitan. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Amazing, amazing. So we should learn these du'as, inshallah. Right? Number 6 is that before entering the toilet, remove any item upon which the name of Allah, the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, any ayah of the Quran Majid is written on a ring or a chain, for example. Sometimes we have it on a ring, sometimes you have it on a chain, right? And again, ideally for men, you shouldn't even have these things. They're very feminine things, right? We should be safe from these things, inshallah. We should not have them. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us about this, like that when you go there, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he used to enter the bathroom, إِذَا دَخَلَ الْخَلَاءَ نَزَعَ خَاتِمَهُ, he used to take off his ring, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he used to have Muhammad Rasulullah on his ring, right? This is a sunnah ring that the Prophet used to have. MashaAllah, you can also get it made too if you want it. It's a very beautiful ring, mashallah. May Allah grant us tawfiq. We try to wear the ring, but every time I lose it, my fingers are so tiny. So my wedding ring is gone. God knows where that is now. SubhanAllah, right? You know, my father-in-law made it exact silver because you have to make a certain amount of silver for the ring, right? Because men can't wear all these other materials, right? For us in our madhab. So you have to wear a specific amount. He made a specific amount, put a nice gemstone on it. Allah knows where it is. Probably some gutter, some bathroom in Bangladesh or something. God knows. SubhanAllah, right? Everything falls in there, right? Even my phone one time. SubhanAllah. The story is for another time, mashallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Remember to remove all these things, inshallah. إِذَا دَخَلَ الْخَلَاءَ نَزَعَ خَاتَمَهُ. Okay? Entering the toilet with your left foot. Both the sunnah that Rasulullah has taught us. Then number 8 is that do not remove your lower garment while standing. Rather, when you're going down, you should draw close and then remove. Right? This is a small little thing that we can do, is that when we are about to sit down, we actually lower it afterwards, right? What do children do? Right? This is the thing, right? What do children do? Bichara Yahya, his pants are off from the door of the home. He's taking off his pants and then running to thing, right? SubhanAllah, this is a child's action when we learn to expose ourselves too early. What is the sign of a person, mashallah, becoming very dindar? They're very shy about their haya. They don't like to expose. They don't like to reveal themselves. MashaAllah, today is an Instagram society that we have. Allahu Akbar. So every kid is showing off his biceps, how much muscles he has. SubhanAllah. Musa alayhi salam is probably stronger than everyone, right? Yeah, Musa alayhi salam was sittir. This is the word they use. Hayyun sittir. He was someone who was so concealing of his body. He was so shameful about himself. Musa alayhi salam. May Allah give us this, inshallah. When relieving yourself, this is point number 9. And this is the last one, inshallah, we'll talk about for today. Do not face towards the qibla. Similarly, your back should not be towards the qibla. And I mentioned this maybe to brothers who are close to me, but I don't know why whenever it comes to the building structures of masajid specifically, they always have to make sure the bathroom is facing towards qibla. Am I right? Every bathroom, subhanAllah, every masjid I've been to, I haven't seen a single one. Illa mashallah. Certain brothers might be concerned for this, right? 1 or 2 masjid come to mind now. But like every masjid I've been to, everyone is always, if you want to know which way is the qibla, just look the way the bathrooms are. The ajib, this is how you come. May Allah forgive, subhanAllah. Even when we're at home, be mindful, right? Which way is the toilet facing? If it's stuck there, I mean, obviously you can't turn it anymore, right? Turn yourself slightly on the toilet seat. This is what Sahaba radiallahu anhum used to do when they're in areas which they could not move the bathroom. So then you move slightly on the toilet seat, so you're not facing towards the qibla, inshallah. Does that make sense? When you're on the toilet seat, inshallah, just slightly shift over. And that way, inshallah, you won't be in against the hadith, because Rasulullah told us, do not face these things, inshallah. May Allah grant us all tawfiq, inshallah. If anyone has any questions, inshallah, we can address them. May Allah grant us barak and khair and allow us to practice on what we learned, inshallah, and teach to our families, inshallah.